Lots of wildlife on the drive in here. Turkeys. I saw a hawk in the road as well. An old abandoned house. Beautiful spot. It looks a little Blair Witchy, so I don't think I'm gonna go in. Hello friends, family, total strangers. Today's video is about Aravaipa Canyon. That's where I am right now. This is in southern Arizona. This is a wilderness area, so you can only get here by permit only. I'll talk about that later. And yeah, I'm hiking the canyon, I'm backpacking, so I'm gonna be here for 2 nights, 3 days. That's the limit, that's as much as you can get. And yeah, I'll talk about the permits more later, but I'm super excited for this one, and let's get to it. So I came in the east entrance. You can get to the canyon either from the west or from the east. If you go in from the east, you have to drive 50 miles of washboard gravel. So I did that. And then if you don't have four-wheel drive, you have to park about 1.5 miles away from the start of the canyon and then just walk the four-wheel drive road. So that's what I did. And yeah, so far so good. This is totally awesome. If you get to come in from the east, or from the west rather, much easier drive. Yeah, much easier drive. It's also harder to get a permit over there because it's so much easier and so much closer to Phoenix and Tucson. So going in the east isn't a bad thing if you're like me and you don't live in Phoenix or Tucson and you're just on the road. I will say you have to drive through a creek. There's no bridges, and it was it was high enough that it was like a little nerve-wracking, but I made it through no problem. The water can be higher, and if the water was higher, I would totally freak out. So if you're coming in the east early season before there's a lot of water, you should be fine as long as you have like a van or a Subaru Outback or something with just a little bit of clearance. Otherwise, west entrance would probably be better. But yeah, so far this is wow. Okay, I'm going to turn the camera around. You're definitely going to get your feet wet on this one. Constantly in and out of the creek. So you're definitely not going to be taking off your shoes each time. So you'd either need some water shoes or just some quick drying shoes, which is what I have. But yeah, man, this is spectacular so far. Aravaipa Canyon. the canyon itself here is about 10.5 miles long. And then, you know, getting to the other side of the canyon isn't really the point. It's more about exploring the canyon along the way. So there's a bunch of little side canyons you can go down, so I'm excited for that. And so I think the plan is to go down about 6 miles or so, set up camp, and I might even camp there for two nights and then just explore out during the days. Wow, look at that campsite. That's not too shabby. Well, I just dragged my microphone through the water, so I guess we're just using the camera mic for the rest of the my iPhone mic for the rest of the video. Hopefully it won't be too windy. Here's that campsite a little closer up, and it's got a great view of this seasonal waterfall, but we are definitely too early in the day to stop. This is one of the first side canyons you can explore. I believe it's Parsons Canyon. Well, I just saw a bobcat, which is really cool. I didn't get my camera out in time to film it though. Oh well. I'll keep my camera ready. Okay, all camped for the night. Right across from a little side canyon. I think it's Horse Camp Canyon or something along those lines. So I've got this huge, I believe it's a cottonwood right here. Awesome. And that's looking up Horse Camp Canyon. And I think in the morning we'll take a little stroll up there and see what it has to offer. I'm tired. Well, I'm not super hungry tonight because I had a big late lunch, which I did not film because I just wanted it in my face. But I have the same stuff I'll have for lunch tomorrow, so I'll film it then. So tonight we're just going to have a little ramen noodles. So I will say the cold soaking thing went okay, but cold soaked ramen is gross. Hot ramen is much better, so yay. Well, if you need any reminder of how careful you have to be with fire around here in Arizona, this is a natural tinder fire that just went right up, so it's just leaves and sticks. So yeah, gotta be careful around here. Good morning. I'm making my coffee. Taster's choice. We'll see how it compares to the Starbucks Vias. Well, you know, it's instant coffee. And I have a Cliff Bar to go with it for breakfast. In other news, my microphone has dried out and is now working again, so yay! Okay, I'm just going to leave my camp set up and got my backpack with some day hike stuff, and I'm going to explore out from here. I'm really enjoying this type of camping more and more, where you just have a base camp and then explore from it, rather than moving everything you have every night. So yeah, let's explore. So this is Horse Camp Canyon. There's this big jumble of rocks you have to get through at the beginning, and then yeah, let's go explore. Well, I could probably scramble up this, but I'm not really feeling it. My foot is hurting me today. Must have injured it yesterday, so yeah, I think we'll just turn around and go back and then explore down canyon. And there's looking back down Horse Camp Canyon. Before we continue on, I just wanted to talk about the permits real quick. Yeah, so they only give out 50 permits per day. That includes day hikers. So there's no more than 50 people in this canyon in a given day. They give out 30 from the west side and 20 from the east side. I think most of the east side people are backpackers. You know, it's a really long drive to do a day hike. So if you're going to day hike, definitely do it from the west, I think. And then, yeah, it does cost money. It's $50. I'm sorry, it's $5 per person per day with a $6 reservation fee. So if I wanted to do 2 nights and 3 days, which is what I did, you have to pay for 3 days and the reservation fee. So it was $21. And that's also the max you can do. You can't do any more than 3 days. But the benefits of that is that this is a true wilderness experience back here. You hardly see anybody. You know, I passed people camping. I passed one couple hiking yesterday, and that was it. And as I get closer to the west entrance, there'll probably be some more people, but I'm on the weekend too, so the wilderness experience is awesome. There's wildlife all over the place. I've seen a bobcat. I've seen all kinds of birds, turkeys. I've seen, yeah, unfortunately, I've gotten a limited amount on camera. The bobcat is the one I really wanted to get, but it just, yeah. But, yeah, it's wildlife in this canyon is amazing, and it is a true wilderness experience, which is shocking that you can get something like that this close to Phoenix and Tucson. So yeah, awesome. And I will also say, like, I can't imagine a better winter backpacking spot than this. This is, if you want to take a trip to Arizona to do some backpacking in the winter, this is the place to come. Make sure you get your permit in advance. And yeah, you can get your permit online on recreation.gov. But yeah, let's go explore towards the west entrance. So the west entrance is lower in elevation, and the east entrance is higher in elevation. So as we're heading down canyon, it's getting we're getting more green, more spring growth, so that's exciting. Yeah, it's currently February 21st, so that's pretty exciting. We've already got some spring growth. I think this would be really neat, in like mid-March would be awesome. You do have to worry about the weather though. So there could be if there's any rain in the forecast, you pretty much have to cancel. Any cloud cover even, because it can flash flood in here really easy. So up that way is Vergas Canyon, which we might explore on the way back. Definitely more water features and rapids down at this west end than the east. I think it's going to be hard to tell the scale from these videos, but that is awesome. Currently just slogging through the creek. Good times, good times. So having permits that you have to reserve is fairly normal for backpacking. That's definitely a normal thing. Having to reserve for day use is very unusual, but I love it. I mean, this is a thriving ecosystem back here. There is so many animals and just so much biodiversity in the plants and everything. Really neat back here. And this is close enough to Phoenix and Tucson that if it made its way onto Instagram, it would totally get overrun and all of the wildlife would be chased out of here. So I really appreciate what they did here to preserve this and save it for us to hike through and explore, and to do it with so few people. I will also say, although they only allow 50 people per day, they only give out 50 permits. So that doesn't even mean that all of those people show up. Oh geez. So yeah, it's, wow, this is pretty nice. Yeah, I love the permitting system. I mean, it kind of stinks you have to pay $11 just for day use, but I'll pay that $11 to have this experience anytime over something like the Wave Cave, which I went to last year and it was super overrun. So I really like the permitting system. Yeah, the creek is pretty flat on the east end, but on the west end there's all these rapids and pools and deep spots. So cool. Spring has sprung. I love it down here on the west end. I don't know if you all know this about me, but spring is my favorite season. I would be remiss if I didn't point out that this hike is not for everyone. There's lots of in and out of the creek. There's lots of bushwhacking. There's lots of climbing over rocks. You know, you're crossing the creek on slick, rounded rocks. So trekking poles, I think, are essential. Yeah, not for everyone. So you're not going to be putting in 3 miles an hour here. I would count on about a mile an hour. maybe a mile and a half depending. But yeah, it's not super easy hiking, but definitely worth it if you're in the shape and have the sense of adventure for it. So that's cool. It looks like a vein of quartz running through the rock. I was about to turn around because it was getting less spectacular and more like desert scenery, but wow, yeah, we're right back in it. I guess we'll continue. Well, I'm probably about a mile and a half from the trailhead. And I mean, what's the point of just hiking to the trailhead? It's definitely getting less and less spectacular. So I think we'll turn around and head back. And if I have time, I'm going to check out Vergus Canyon. And if not, I'll just head back to camp. So yeah, I'll probably stop for lunch here pretty soon too. But yeah, I don't see any point just going to the trailhead. So yeah. A little chorizo, tomatoes, and cheddar wrapped up in a tortilla. Yum. Well, I just tried to go up Vergus Canyon, and yeah, it's just got all these boulders, so you have to scramble across all these boulders, and I couldn't make it, so I'm gonna try something else closer to camp. Back at camp, having a little afternoon coffee, taster's choice. Yeah, I think I'm done exploring for the day. I'm pretty exhausted, so coffee and then lounging around camp here. So this is my dinner tonight. Couscous. This is my first time with this brand of couscous, which I got at Walmart. I've also had the Near East couscous, which are much better. This is okay. It definitely needs more salt. So I'm gonna do something slightly controversial and add some Caribbean jerk seasoning to my couscous to see if I can make it taste better. Well, it did add some salt at least, but this is definitely not one of my better meals. Well, I don't usually have campfires when I'm camping by myself. I kind of think of campfires as more of a social thing. So don't usually do it when I'm out on my own, but I think I'm kind of coming around to it. You know, it just gives me something to do in the evening and not just go into my tent at 6 when it gets dark, or my van, or wherever I am. It's nice to be outside, and yeah, I like it. Something to do. And I will also say it's really nice to be camped next to a creek when you have a fire, because it's much easier to put out that way. Pro tip: gallon Ziploc. Great way to bring a gallon at a time from the creek to put this puppy out. But I think we're a ways away from that. We'll see how long all my little sticks last. I don't have any like big logs, so. Enjoying a cup of rooibos chai tea by the fire here.
Good morning. Just cut up some cheese. Gonna make some cheese grits for breakfast. Cheese grits. Yum.
Okay, all packed up and ready to hit the trail. Heading back to the van. I don't know how much I'm going to film on the way back. We'll see. Definitely if I see any wildlife and can get my camera out in time, I will get that. And if I do a side canyon, I'll do that. And maybe some couple other random shots here and there. So this is looking up Parsons Canyon, which looks really cool. I would love to explore it, but I am beat. Yeah, I'm just really exhausted today. I might not have packed enough calories, but yeah, don't really have it in me. And in general, I would say exploring the side canyons, if you want to hike the whole canyon, is a bit ambitious because that's the hiking out here is pretty hard work. So I would probably say, at least for me, I loved hiking the whole canyon and I loved seeing it all. And I think I'm going to come and do another trip in the future and just camp at the east end and do Parsons and Hellhole, and those canyons look really cool. So yeah, that's kind of a little bit of a fail. Didn't really make it up any of the side canyons, but the main canyon itself is awesome, and it has a river running through it, which the others don't. So well, that was a nice little send-off. Hadn't seen any javelina. I'm almost back to the trailhead, so to get to see the herd there at the end, pretty neat. So yeah, I've seen bobcat, javelina, lots of deer, wild turkeys, ton of birds. Yeah, lots of wildlife back here. Pretty special place. Okay, back at the van. Yay! It was awesome. Like, that was an amazing backpack. One of my favorites I've done. So thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment, all that fun stuff. Thanks a bunch.